Nanny and well, I know Nanny and Aunt Jane. The only people born up in Quebec were the two younger ones, were Huey and Katie. But all the others were born at Anticosta.
How come they left? Why did they leave?
Oh, because my mom was thrilled. She didn't know where they'd be going. The dad said it'll have to be Quebec because he said the people are being stripped off the island. It's bought over by Canadian International Paper Company. And they're going to come and line up all the trees that be ripe to cut. And it's going to, they want all the families out. It was awful, you know. I know some two of them stayed. They said, we're not leaving, but not our family. The Stubborns, I think. No, we're not leaving. Well, of course, they couldn't fight that big company. Actually, the big company needed the people. You know, they know their way around everything. But in those days, you know, the stock market was a great restless place, you know, unfailing, and it had a bad name. But of course, Mom never said a word. She said we were thrilled. We said we'd get a ride. They rode us up by boat to Quebec. And then we had to get along by ourselves.
Was she young?
Oh, Quebec. Oh. Granny Whiting loved the sailors. She says, oh, I'm going to make a little restaurant for the sailors to come and eat, get coffee or something. So one after the other, and Dad could work in the bush, so he got work. And he guiding, you see, he used to guide 2 months a year. Those 2 months.
But they weren't married yet. Your mom wasn't married to your dad
they got
yet.
married only in Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But
because she was with
he met her at the drill hall. That would have to tie in with the First Great War, when men would go do their drilling there before going across. And everybody got work. Women all had work cleaning the place and all that stuff. The drill hall. I remember the drill hall. I think it's still existing because it's all stone buildings, you know. Yeah, I think they told me it was still up.
And so your mom met your mom, Nanny, met.
Yes, that's it. She was working at the drill hall. I guess they were washing floors or something or other. And Dad was going in to get drills, but they wouldn't take them for some reason. It was too short or something. In those days, you know, you had to be 5 foot. You had to be more than 5 feet, but I don't remember all that part because it was crooked anyway. But she's working away, and he's working, I think, washing floors. Anyway, he looked at her, and they wanted to see each other. That's how they got married young.
But when they left Anticosti, they went straight to Quebec?
That's right. Well, yes, that was the nearest port. And the only things running in those days were the boats.
And what did your grandfather do for a living there in Anticosti?
That wasn't my grandfather's boat, though.
No.
No, I don't know what. I know they were all in a boat and all very sick. Everybody got sick. See, they were used to the wild Anticosti, but they had never been in a boat.
Oh, but what did he do for a living?
Daddy?
Not your dad, your grandfather.
He was a captain of one of those boats.
Okay, so he was in a boat before.
That's right, he was a captain. And that's when Dad got picked up as a first mate for captain. It was his own father. But he was only a boy, you know. That's how you learn to be harsh and work hard when you're very young.
Okay, but I was asking you about Nanny's father.
Hey?
I was talking about Nanny's father.
Nanny's father, Hoyles Whiting. I remember, he died after we went to Syracuse. Because I remember Mom would dump either Freddie or me, or both of us, with Aunt Jane when she went up to the bush to work at Triton Club. The older ones stayed in Syracuse. And the minister across the street in the old Methodist church, his wife and sons would keep their eyes on our house and us. That's how we lots of us went to Protestant church. You know, Patty remained Protestant. And that was a rough time, but you know what? It's rough in some ages today too. Because in those days, the young people, all they knew that get up and go to work. Which now, it's so missing that kids are compelled to go to school. And if you're Catholic, had to be a Catholic school. And then the public school, they opened public school. I remember that the old Montgomery school, that was the first public school. And we went there because it didn't cost any money, whereas you couldn't go to a Catholic school. Oh no, the nuns charged, you know. Oh, it wasn't the nuns' fault, it was a Catholic institution there. That's why most of us used to go to Methodist church. Because they were good and they'd invite us to their parties, Thanksgiving and all this, and they were always sending something over to help us out.
And the Catholics weren't like that? The Catholics were...
Oh no, it only grew later years because the Catholic Church was so strict. You had to do certain things on certain days, and you had to, it was, no, I'd never been to Catholic school. We only went to Montgomery, which was a public school. And then after Montgomery, there was Merritt. That was a public school. And they try to line you up where you can go. When Montgomery school, well, I grew out of they were just the grade schools. Went to Merritt school. And after that one, they said we'd have to go to Seymour because I was I was catching on quick, you know. And they said, we'll put you over to Seymour School, but it'll be farther for you to walk. And it was 14 blocks away. But Seymour was a beautiful new school, you know, and it was very nice. And that's where I finished, and Bill too. We finished school there. I was going to go into grade 7, and they wanted to give me this, because I had only a month more to go. They wanted to give me a right to grade 7, you see. And then Dad said, well, I don't know if there's any public schools up around there anyway. We're going to the bush. And so I never did get that paper. I finished I was in 7th grade. No, I did just 6th grade, and I was almost finished. We left there to arrive for May 1st up in Canada for the job we had that Dad got. And you see, I would have come out on the 26th of June. I would have had my 7th grade entrance. But anyway, I cried a little bit about that, but you know, Dad said, look, we're looking to make a living. And he said, I don't call what we're doing here a living. We're living in a rat hole of a house. He said, up there, at least we'll have dogs. Maybe there won't be any rats. The city was crawling with rats. It still is, too. Because it was a lowland city, you know, and it wasn't unusual to see a rat washing across the street. That's, it was full, it was terrible. So we were glad to get back up to Canada. Mom said, well, the one thing good about coming back, she said, up here in the bush, we don't see rats, but there are probably a million mice. But mice we could catch, but rats, she said, I thought I didn't want to see any more rats if I ever lived long enough.